Ozzy, come, let me see. I asked my little baby to, what's it called? Um, Food timetable for her dad. Because he's always coming home and we'll ask him, what do you want to eat? And next thing is, what's there to eat? And I'm like, everything. And tell me one thing. Then I say this. And then he says, no, it's too heavy. And then I say this and he says, oh, I don't feel like it. So what do you feel like eating? What are the options? Everything. So now I'm just going to put everything on the sheet of paper and choose what he wants. Okay, so why am I here today? I just decided to quickly come and give my review on this book I read. And it's not like my review, but it's just something that came to mind when I finished reading it. I'm sure most of us have heard about this book of This Our Country. It's a compendium of stories from different Nigerian authors, and it's really a good book, if I say so. But that's not the reason why I even wanted to say it. It's just more like to explain some struggles that we have when we read certain books. When I picked up this book earlier, I saw it and it looked interesting, and I asked a colleague. It's not mine, I borrowed it from a colleague. So, shout out to Shay, thank you for lending me the book. I'm done with it, and I'll be returning it to you now. I know it took a while, babes, but I did the needful. Thank you, darling. Appreciate. She's my sweetie from work. So like I was saying, when I started off the book, to be honest, I think the first story was, I won't say intriguing, but it wasn't bad. Second story was also not bad, but it wasn't what I was expecting. I expected more from the book, so I was dragging with it, and I kind of made up my mind that every month this year I will read a book. So since I started it, I said I must endeavor to finish it. Unfortunately, I wasn't feeling the book, so I put it down, and once in a while when I remember I need to read a book, I'll just pick it and try again. But after a while, I think I just dumped it. So fast forward to election, and we all know about the higgy haga that happened during this 2023 election, especially the governorship election, the trouble surrounding it, the story behind that governorship election, especially in Lagos State. I recall then after the presidential election and the unity that we had seen amongst ourselves in trying to put one person, a good person, as the president, and not just going in the line of his Yoruba's turn, his Hausa's turn, his Igbo's turn, but just who do we feel amongst the people that had been presented to us is good enough to take this nation out of the quagmire that it presently is in. And we were all obedient to the cause. Yeah. And even though they snatched it, we're still hopeful that truth will come out in the long run. But then that's not where I'm going. I digress. So when that happened, I mean, I felt some form of unity, and I saw the book by my bedside and I picked it up again, and the stories became alive. They jumped out at me because the authors from this book are from all tribes in this country, different tribes in this country, not just the three main tribes that we all talk about, all tribes, and they were talking about Nigeria from their perspective. And so it became like an eye-opener of, wow, these are the things that other people are experiencing in their side of this country. And it became intriguing. I'm like, Nigeria is so beautiful, Nigeria is so rich, Nigeria is such a force. Why are we not using what we have? Why are we fighting with ourselves? Why are we striving? Look at us, we're such bay. Nigeria is bay, you understand? And I was just eating it up. I was just going page after page. I wanted to see the next person's perspective. I wanted to hear what the next person had to say. I wanted to see, because the book literally became alive in my hand. I was looking at it and I'm like, wow, I wish there was so much security in this country. I would go to all these places that are mentioned in this book. And I want to thank God that I didn't force myself to read this book, because if I'd forced myself, I probably wouldn't have gotten a lot out of it. I probably won't remember anything that I'd read in it, because it'll just be I must finish this book before the month runs out. I thank God for the season that I read the book. I thank God for the events that unfolded while I was reading the book. You know, I actually held the book when I went for the governorship election. It was the book I wanted to read. But when I heard stories from different people from at their police station, I wept. I wept, but my weeping was not so much of Nigeria is dead, but I was as in like, maybe this is the pangs of birthing a new country. Maybe this is the pain, you know, when women travail in pregnancy just before the baby comes out. There's so much pain, you feel like I can't take it anymore. I felt that was my weeping at that point in time. And I'm actually very confident that something great has been birthed from this last election, and I'm hopeful for Nigeria. I feel our bond is tighter, no matter what people say. The youth of this country are going to bring it out of this silly mindset that older generation are trying to force down our truth. We are the ones that are going to transform this nation, and it might be through pain, but it will happen. So my encouragement to you, when you're reading a book and you're struggling with it, put it down. Maybe it's not the season for that book. Maybe it's not the season for that book. Just wait a while. The Spirit will direct you to the next time to pick the book. And the same thing is happening with the new book I'm reading, 7 Habits of Highly Effective People. This is my 3rd time attempting to read this book, and I'm so confident that this time I'm going to finish it. Why? Because my paradigm has shifted. This is the season for that book. All the while that I was struggling with it, God knew that I was just wasting my time. But right now is the now. It's the season for it. So that's the long and short of my rant for this evening. When you pick a book and you're struggling with it, put it down. If it's a book that is meant for you, you will come back to it at the right time, and you'll get everything, absolutely everything that you need from it. So that's just it. I know I've been away from YouTube. I haven't done any vlog recently, but I've just been busy. A lot of things are happening, but doesn't mean that I'm not going to come back to this. I'm definitely going to. I'm using my camera, the one my husband gave me. I'm not using my phone, so if the quality is a bit different, just manage it, please. I want to see how I can make the most of what I have, you know. So I'm using this. How you all doing? How's everyone doing? Yeah, just call and say hi, and don't forget to subscribe to my channel, like, and hit the notification bell. Peace out.